Hello, 你好, welcome back to my channel. With escalation of Iran war, there are tremendous discussions on YouTube platform about the impact of the war on China. Many people think that China has suffered great losses, while others believe that China may be the biggest winner without firing a single shot. Some analysts were questioning why China has been so quiet, while those who are not happy or tired about the America's long hegemony in international affairs are hoping China for stronger, even military interventions. But more people seem to believe that China is providing military support indirectly behind the scene. So how to see through all these conflicting messages and find the real reasons that contributed to China's current position and responses accordingly? Here, I'm trying to give an interpretation from angle of an average Chinese. First, I have to say that China has rendered political, diplomatic, and economic support to Iran. China is one of the few countries that strongly condemned the strike launched by US and Israel in the very beginning, many occasions, including the Forum of the United Nations. Positioning itself as a neutral mediator advocating for peace, China's foreign minister has been in active contact with counterparts from Iran and other Arab states like Oman, Saudi Arabia, UAE, and etc., as well as Israel, France, and Russia, trying to coordinate the positions among the global south and the regional actors to de-escalate the situation and prevent the conflict from spiraling into a wider regional war. China has also maintained its regular economic ties with Iran, remaining as the biggest buyer of Iranian oil, and provide Tehran with crucial economic lifelines. However, China has not provided military protection to Iran during US and Israel strikes. Despite such a stance may bring in doubt or pressure from both within China and abroad. For example, in China, some people may think that China should have adopted more assertive policy to defend friends and global justice, given China is already the second largest economy and third or the second military power. On the other hand, there might be some overseas voices or backlash from Iran hardliners accusing China of abandoning Iran, and such a perception about China's weakness in international politics may result in long-term negative impact on China's partnership with Iran, as well as other countries who want to be close friends of China. Because as the proverb goes, a friend in need is a friend indeed. And such a stance taken by Chinese government is based on consideration of three main factors: the legal principles, strategic prudence, and core national interests. Now let's have a detailed analysis. First, from the demand side, Iran has never made any formal request to China for military protection or aid or any other types of support. This is a statement made by the Iranian embassy in Beijing on March 5th. The statement is in Chinese, targeting the Chinese audience. There are two key points in this statement. The first is thank Chinese people for standing with Iranian people. And the second key point is based on the assessment of the current situation in Iran, Iranian government has no plan to accept any financial aid or donation from the civil organizations or individuals in China. By the way, the Chinese government has already started the humanitarian aid to Iran and other Arab states in these days. Second, from supply side, to provide military protection to Iran, to have military interventions in this conflict is beyond China's capability. You see, United States has the highest military budget. It has about 800 military bases around the world. And in this particular region, it has more than a dozen of military bases. In addition, it has deployed most powerful naval fleets, while China has only one military logistic support base in Djibouti. So in this particular region, China is not a match for the US military power. And most importantly, it is beyond China's willingness or political will, because this is against the rules of China's foreign policy. That is 5 principles of peaceful coexistence. These include mutual respect for sovereignty and territorial integrity, mutual non-aggression, mutual non-interference in each other's internal affairs, equality and mutual benefit, and peaceful coexistence. These 5 principles were officially issued in the joint statements with India and Myanmar in 1954. And here we can clearly see China's foreign policy is not confrontation-driven, but partnership-oriented. So this is a table about China's global partnership with different countries at different levels, from the most close ally to the general partners. And you can see that the tier 1 is former military ally. That's the most close ally. It is DPRK. So this is the only former military ally with legally binding mutual defense treaty with China. And the second level is all-weather strategic partners. This include Pakistan, Belarus, Uzbekistan, Hungary. So these are the highest level of non-allied partnership. You see, Pakistan in China, we call them ironclad brothers, but Pakistan is still not China's former military partner or ally. I will not go in detail one by one. So I would like to highlight Iran. So here we're discussing about Iran, why China is not providing military protection, because Iran is only in tier 5. So you can see that Iran in China's global partnership hierarchy is not that high. We also have frustrations in the cooperation between these 2 countries. Now, I just give some examples. Here I got online some cases about China's partnership setbacks with Iran. A very typical example is this Chahabad port, which our Indian friends are quite familiar with. So China was involved in this project starting around 2015. Chinese companies invested heavily in this Shahid Bahishti terminal at Chabahar. And reports indicated that China spent almost $330 million for the preliminary work like geological surveys, dredging, and some basic infrastructures. But Iran in 2024 handed this port over to India, and Iran signed a 10-year operational contract with India without prior consultation with China. India gained the right to operate the port, built largely with Chinese investment. I'm not saying here that Iran is wrong or betrayed China, but because it is in a very difficult situation, suffering from the sanction regimes, and it wants to navigate and maximize its national interests. It's understandable, but from China's angle, this is really a setback. So the conclusion is Iran is a strategic partner of necessity, not an ideological ally of China. Despite China has suffered significant financial losses and diplomatic frustrations in its relations with Iran, both nations continue to cooperate closely today because their core interests, like countering U.S. hegemony, energy trade, and etc., still align. Now let's conclude the analysis of this video about why China has not entered the conflict in Iran, or why China has not provided military aid or protection to Iran, based on the core value or principles of China's foreign policy. In doing so, China aims to first uphold international law and non-interference. China strictly adheres to UN Charter, and it opposes the use of force against sovereign states. A direct military intervention would violate China's own principle of non-interference in other countries' internal matters. Second, to prioritize diplomatic mediation, China's role is to mediate for peace, not take sides. It has condemned the strikes, called for an immediate ceasefire, and pushed for dialogue through UN and other bilateral diplomacy. Third, to avoid direct military conflict with the United States and maintain flexibility in global diplomacy. Military aid to Iran would risk a direct military confrontation with the US, which would severely damage China's core interests in Taiwan, in South China Sea, and in the Pacific. And finally, to protect China's economic and energy security. You see, Middle East supplies about 45% of China's oil. Military intervention would escalate the regional conflict, disrupt energy supplies, and destabilize the global trade route, which is crucial for China's economy. China has good relations with all these countries in Gulf region, and to maintain balanced regional ties and preserve relations with all these Gulf states are in China's best interests. Thank you for watching. If you feel interested, please kindly click the like and leave your comments and suggestions. You're also most welcome to subscribe to the channel and share the channel with your friends. Let's make this channel a community where we can share with each other, learn from each other, and enjoy together. See you next time.